Kanpai.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's Kanpai Cast, where we're doing the 6-episode rule, also known as the mid-season roundup or the check-in or what have you. We're halfway through the season. That's the important thing. It's time to talk about the shows that we've been watching so far and what we've dropped and everything. But before that, of course, as always, the housekeeping. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that are good and beneficial to the YouTube algorithm. There's an audio version, of course, and I think a lot of people probably prefer listening to it when we go into these long review episodes. At least I think so. Maybe you listen to it on YouTube, though. Then we also have a Discord, of course, where you can come and drop your memes or hang out and tell us your favorite anime openings, theme songs, all that good stuff. And then, of course, there's Patreon and streaming. You can come go sign up to Xeno's Patreon and get extra questions on Nozomi Senpai. Pay me for editing it, and or you can just hang out while we stream and have fun there. That's also a good time. Anything else? I think that pretty much covers the housekeeping. I know we've got a packed episode, so if we're ready to just get into it, I say we just get into it.
Let's just get into it. It's gonna
get a lot.
Someone made a mistake.
Xeno's got 9 whole shows.
For everyone's benefit.
Dropped.
No. I'm dropping them this episode, right?
Right.
Yeah, this because like I've got to talk about why I'm dropping a lot.
Right.
Yeah, so for everyone's benefit, Nasuth has 5, Thaylien has 6, and I have 9, like a fucking Muppet. So we're starting with me?
I think we're starting with you. It looks like
cool.
So we're doing this. Usually we do the wheel spinner. I say usually. These days we do the wheel spinners. But since Xeno's got so many, he's having to double up. Where he's gonna do like a good one and a bad one. So some of the wheel spinners will help. Like right now you got Chain Soldier.
Yeah. So I'll do Chain Soldier, and then I'll do Tune In to the Midnight Heart. Right. Okay. So first off, Chained Soldier. What did I give it last time?
That's a good question.
So I gave it a 4-star acquired taste. So first of all, this is certainly I can't believe it's not hentai, right? It's
I saw a meme about this. I can't remember what it was now. But it was essentially how this is like every masterpiece has its cheap copy, and this was the cheap copy of some other.
Yeah. So this is very adult in nature. It's very. This is definitely not going to be for the majority of our audience. This is going to be for the section of our audience which are like, oh no, I'd never ever watch that thing, but just because I want to avoid it. What's the name of that show again? And I like the world setting that they have been building up in this show, where effectively we have this diverse narrative of powerful female protagonists. It's kind of undercut by the main male protagonist, who is kind of a pivotal figure in the whole thing. He is very much in a harem situation, and I heard there's multiple uncensored versions of this show. So multiple different uncensored versions of the show.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go.
There's one that's mildly censored, and then one that's completely uncensored.
Yeah. So I don't know which version of uncensoredness I am watching. I certainly know it is some degree of uncensoredness, but that's besides the point. There's one instance of this is an example of why I like this show. So it's kind of common knowledge I hate tournament arcs. In a lot of tournament shows, with the exclusion of Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider, you can pretty much look at the what's the
brackets?
The tree? The brackets. You can pretty much look at the brackets, which are revealed at the start of the show, and go, I know exactly how these fights are going to play out, because they want to get person A and person B to fight together, right? It's fairly easy to work out a lot of these things, like Dragon Ball, My Hero Academia, insert name here. They're all pretty much the same. This show actually decided to segue the tournament arc for a battle royale, which tipped my cap off. I was very impressed with, because it only had 2 fights, and then the battle royale was over, right? And then it moved on with the rest of the show. So it was only like the battle royale consisted of like an episode and a half. So
that sounds like season 2 of Windbreaker, where all it was battle royales.
Yeah. So I genuinely was happy with that, because literally anyone could fight anyone. It's entirely dependent on who the formation was, and effectively you saw the fight of the powerhouse of the winners, and that's all that really matters. So why bother going through all the other faff? So I was really happy with that. That being said, if you don't like High School Double D, you're not gonna like this at all, right? The next show I'm going to talk about in the remaining... Huh? It was the same as the last time. It's A Quiet Taste 4.
Oh, okay.
That was it.
Yeah, I don't think you actually said.
But the next one I want to talk about very briefly, this dumpster fire, is called Tune In to the Midnight Heart. And I'm going to blitz through this, right? Tune In to the Midnight Heart is a 3-star pass, right? Don't watch this, for the love of God, right? This is akin to quintessential quintuplets and Rent a Girlfriend, right? It is a of them combined, right? So it's the 2 shows combined.
Yeah.
I liked first season of Rent a Girlfriend. I don't know why. I think I had some form of brain damage at the time. And I liked the first season of quintessential quintuplets until I discovered who the winning girl was. The blankest blank. Anyway, the problem... So this show sets up... Middle school kid suffers from insomnia. He listens to a radio show on his mobile phone, kind of weird, and...
Does your mobile phone not have a AM/FM tuner? Mine does.
So does mine. But does he not use headphones?
No, he doesn't. But that's besides the point.
That's the weird bit.
Hold on. I don't want this to take too long.
Yes.
So he listens to this girl. The girl basically helps lull him to sleep and things. And she wants to aspire to do an occupation to do with voice, right? So this could be a VTuber, singing, voice acting, news presenter. It could be anything. But she wants to be... And he knows her as Apollo, right? High school comes around and she just disappeared on him. Sorry. During middle school, she confessed her love to him and he confessed his love to her over the phone using this weird app. I don't know how the radio works apparently in this magical mobile app scenario, but that's besides the point. She confesses his love, he confesses her love, she confesses whatever, I said that wrong. And he spends the next X period of years trying to track her down. All he has is the name Apollo and the sound of her voice. He basically tracks it down to this group of 4 girls that deal with the intercom announcements at this school, right? Not kidding, it is weird as all hell. And then he knows it's one of those 4 because during the first episode, Apollo turns on the radio app again and you can hear all 4 of them in the broadcast room while they are currently broadcasting, and so he knows it's one of them. And it's the sort of story that's just like, oh my god. So one of them wants to become a voice actor, one of them wants to become a singer, one of them wants to become a news presenter, and one of them wants to become a VTuber. And it's just like, so he's going to coach them into how to do these specific jobs. And it's just like, oh, I couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it. Nope. Not doing it. I can see where this is going. But these sorts of harem shows are a dime a dozen. I fucking love Hina, man.
Too contrived.
Yeah. That's it.
Whoa, he's talking bad about Love Hina. Are we going to let him stand? Are we going to let that stand?
Yeah, I am. But that was tuned in to the Midnight Heart. Please don't watch it.
Alrighty. So my one up is Fire Force season 3, which, well, this one was an Acquired Taste 3, and it's now an Acquired Taste 4. Because this one gets more and more ballsy as we go. For the first 3 episodes, we have Shinra and his brother be Jesus and his prophet. And now we have the entirety of humanity apparently feeling so doomed that they're about to destroy themselves due to pure imagination. And on top of that, the apparent direct proof of the end of that, of the end, is that pi, the mathematically infinite number, is now possible to imagine as finite.
What?
The bad guys are trying to hold on. So the bad guys are trying to get hold of this supposed solution to pi, which will prove that humanity is finite and can all die at once. And we're getting into spiral territory here. This is bordering on Gurren Lagann levels of ridiculous concept. I mean, considering we've seen the concept of expanding evolution, throwing around entire solar system as weapons, and we've seen the concept of original sin be defined as clothing. I'm kind of here for it. The pi is finite, so they're going to destroy the world.
And how does this fit into Soul Eater?
I believe because what they're building towards in the show, right? It's building towards the end of the world being based on the imagination of the people. It's projecting what people believe into reality, right?
Right.
Which is so not, sensible people might believe one thing, but the masses can believe anything. So for the actual show, we've got some really good combat, some setup for further action, and some reveals about the plans and people of the world that are very important. And one of the great points about that planet is it basing that destruction of the world on the perception of the massed people. As long as enough people believe something to be true, then it becomes that way. It's specifically in this setting, where they're kind of linking the real world with the world, what they call a dollar, this mirror world. So it basically it's made things like as they merge the worlds more closely, concepts like the moon becomes more cartoony because the moon is not always seen as that ball up in the sky. There's some people that don't believe that, and other people believe what they've seen drawn in their books as children. As a whole thing. So it ends up being cartoony, and then during the events of episodes, I think 5 or 6, the rest of the sky turns cartoony because the stars are like drawn on the sky in people's imaginations. Not enough people believe in science there, it seems. So we have the main characters. We have Shinra, who should technically have died in the fire that killed his mother, and his younger brother disappeared. And if Shinra had also disappeared, then the way this end of the world is playing out, he would have become a legend to the people, someone they could discover, someone that would come to save them at the last minute, be a hero, because they're dealing with the end of the world as a means of perception, right? So that's surely there'd be a hero to save them. But the bad guys let him live as an orphan and spread the rumor around his school, around the adults near him, that he was responsible for the deaths of his brother and his mother. So they call him the nickname of the devil, and that nickname haunted him through his whole, upbringing, being the devil, and that's why he wanted to be the hero so badly. So when he stands up against a being that is de facto there to kill everyone and bring about the end of the world, who do they make him stand against to further this thing of the devil? None other than what appears to be this world's original prophet and emperor, Raffles I, come back to see the people and make judgment. So what the people see is not the hero defeating a titanic monster anymore. They see the devil killing their god emperor as he finally returns. And now humanity doesn't have a hero. They believe the hero to be the devil and have rejected him. And for a simple shonen plot, this is getting a little bit entertaining, shall we say. It's ridiculous on the same level as Gurren Lagann and Kill the Kill. It's not the best show listed on the season, but I'm really entertained by how ballsy they're being with it. I'm looking forward to seeing how things go, what they actually create on the other side of this disaster that's coming for them.
You say this, you've given it acquired taste for, what you're saying sounds to me like the mangaka was trapped in a non-ventilated room for too long, and paint thinner had just leaking everywhere.
Possibly. Oh, you look at the screenshots.
I just he's fighting Jesus. I'm like, what?
No, he's okay. So to put that
he's
into
demon
context,
Jesus.
He's a
no. You don't need to.
He's
it's fine.
You don't need to. He was a virgin birth.
Okay,
but just formed by $1, basically. Anyway, okay. But yes, it is wild. I love the concepts going on just because of how many other weird ones we've seen in the world.
Oh,
yeah, that is Fire Force Season 3.
All right. So my first one up is also one of the best, Hell's Paradise. Now, I wrote down must watch 3. I think in retrospect, I'm going to drop that to a must watch 2.
Oh.
It's not for any really bad reason. It's just that I watched it before I watched some of the other stuff, and so in terms of where it falls within those ratings, I think it has to be slightly below something like JJK or even Samurai Troop. Wait, where did I rate Samurai Troopers? Okay, no, above Samurai Troopers, lower than JJK. But it was a must-watch 1, so it's still coming up in the world, right? With the way it's been handling character development, the setting, and the story, this might actually be one of the all-time greats for shonen bordering on seinen. I much like with JJK, I was distracted by the subtitles, so I couldn't really watch the animation as much as I wanted to, because it really made me want to watch the animation. There's things in it that are so pretty to look at, and I have to split my attention between that and the subtitles. And because of my eyesight, I have to focus more on the subtitles. Animation seems pretty good, though. For a subtle touch, the intro song is pretty evenly shared between a man and a woman, which much like the Tao in the show seems to be. So I'm sure that was a creative choice they made on the production side of things. So now that Gabimaro's memories are back, it's time for some actual training to better understand Tao. And they don't do a whole bunch of it. Like a lot of in these 3 episodes, quite a bit happens. Gabimaro better understands Tao. They formulate a plan to get into the Tensen Palace, and then because that's the only way out. The only way to leave the island is through a dock that the Tensen Palace has, because all the monsters in the sea have been trained not to go near that spot. Everything else off limits.
Yeah, like a port. Okay.
Yeah. And they also discuss what the Tensen are actually doing here, how they came to be here, what the elixir of life is and how they make it. And this island is a crucible. It is a furnace for distilling Tao. It takes people and grinds them into dust to extract the Tao from them. And for our characters, if they're going to survive this, they must treat it like a forge, like getting like shedding their shortfalls, their preconceived notions to grasp at what's truly important. They're not criminals in Isomon anymore. They are teammates. They are working together for a common goal. They must understand each other better and not just look at the surface level. The bandit brother who gives up on revenge to learn how to survive instead. Our main female protagonist, Sagiri, learns to love and depend on these criminals. Gabimaru, who is no longer hollow but has something to fight for. The Tensen continue to be inscrutable, as gods should be. You can only kind of begin to understand their true goals even as they explain them to you. Even when they start to study Chobe. Chobe is the bandit, one of the bandit brothers. He and his brother get separated. That's why one of them is learning to work with Gabimaru's team. The other one has been taken to the Tensen Palace and is sort of becoming one of them in a weird way. I was.
Don't they have a lot of influence on other games these days? Tencent.
No, that's 10. Oh my god.
Shut up.
They're basically that bad. They're basically that evil. Yeah, you're not wrong. Did not expect them to go into the quite so deep into Tau, but they do. It's really nice. There's a new force. Oh god, my notes are really long here. There's a new force that's joining the island.
That's what she said.
How similar a fate will theirs be to the first group? How many of them will make it through? The answer, surprisingly, is all of them. That's just how dangerous they are. Every single one of them makes it through the initial attack of the island, denizens, inhabitants, whatever they are, the monsters. I really like that even though Gabimaru is clearly special in some way, this is very much not the Gabimaru show, and is instead an ensemble cast with important stories for each character. There's a lot of planning and explaining and maneuvering that goes into positions in episodes 2 to 5. So when we did the last review, there were only 2 episodes out, but now there are 6. So this is actually 2 through 6. But I think a lot of it's important, sort of like in the JJK one where they spent time planning before the culling game actually started. That's sort of the same thing that's going on here. They're making this plan, and then you get to see them execute the plan. Even before episode 5 is over, they're starting to infiltrate the Tensen Palace. The bad guy doesn't even wait for them to talk amongst themselves. So once they infiltrate the palace, they run into one of the Tensen. Doesn't even wait for them to talk amongst themselves before attacking. I wish more shows would fucking do that. How incredible to see that sort of dishonorable behavior in a shonen. And then, of course, the mind-bending action as they get through episode 6. I'm really loving this show. This is excellent. This is excellent shonen.
Do we think that the series is going to, or the show's going to end by the end of season 2, or do we think there's more seasons?
I don't think so.
Go? You don't think so? Okay.
No, I think we're gonna end up killing some of the Tensen, but there's gonna be a reason that. Well, actually, the Tensen are trying to also get to the mainland because they need more souls. They think they've perfected the way to make the elixir of life now. That's been the whole goal of them being here, is to make the elixir of life. They think they figured it out, but they need more souls, so they want to also go to the mainland. So it's possible that we'll end up shifting the story over there at some point. We'll see, but I don't think.
I would be interested to know if this is a better read than a watch, because obviously I've seen season 1 now, and season 1 is very good, but it is to me, you have to binge it. You can't just.
That's fair.
Yeah. So anyway,
I would probably say that about this season 2.
So that is Hell's Paradise season 2. Right. Moving on to my next pair. The first one being Roll Over and Die. So this I am giving an acquired taste for. Right, it's so the whole show is.
Oh my god!
Fine.
Is it?
Yes, the whole show is banished from the hero's party. Right, so this is a very common trope that is starting to emerge from anime. You know, we used to have a lot of isekai stuff. Now we are seeing a lot more
Banished from
kicked
X.
from the hero's party. Yeah, kicked from the hero's party stuff. But the main thing here is effectively our main character. First off, female protagonist, so that's a plus for me, because, you know, so many of them are just male protagonists. Yeah. She was chosen by the deities to be part of the hero's party, and all her stats are 0. But she has a unique skill called reversal. They have no idea what it does. They have no idea how it works or anything. And ultimately...
Didn't you explain this to me? I think I seem to remember this. You explained this to me in a call, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So
ultimately, one of or a pair of the heroes ends up kicking her out of the party. We can see her on the left, and she's got like this mark on her face. But she gets kicked out of the hero's party, but one of the pair ends up selling her into slavery. Right?
Ooh.
She is then immediately branded, and then has a magic seal put on her face, which is basically this is a slavery brand, and the brand cannot be removed in any way, shape, or form. And because her stats are 0, they can't sell her off. So the slave trader ends up using her as a form of amusement. So, you know, her and a bunch of other slaves are put in a pit with some ghouls, and effectively they either have to suffer being murdered by ghouls, or they end up having to try and use a cursed sword to fight the ghouls. But the cursed sword is so... Oh god, what's the name of the damn thing? It's so powerful, it's so malicious in what the effects are. Effectively, it subtracts, like, was it 1,000 points from all your stats, and it melts the actual person. But because her unique ability is reversal, right, it actually gives her those stats, and it gives her those stats, and it actually heals her all the time. Yeah, so it's like it's the perfect weapon, right? So yeah, she uses it to escape. You know, they get out of this horrible situation, and you know, they free themselves, they become adventurers, so on and so forth. But like, the world is super corrupt, and the church that is sending our hero's party, who is still trying to adventure out to, you know, fight the demon lord and everything, the church is super up to something really weird. There's this weird series of events where monsters and things turn up, and they have these weird spiral patterns for faces, right? And they're constantly trying to consume things. It's kind of something out of Berserk in that nature, but they are after our main protagonist. We don't know why, right? Additionally, the demons seem to be opposed to killing humans. They are constantly fighting the hero's party and things, but they are not trying to kill the hero's party. They're trying to just stifle them, but we don't know why. There's obviously a relationship. Yeah, there's a relationship between the demons and our main protagonist, but I don't like this about the show. They don't explain what that relationship is whatsoever. I really don't like that about it. They don't explore enough of the demons. Genuinely, it is actually a really good show, and I actually am enjoying watching this on the regular. It is better than a lot of the other stuff that I've picked up this season. Speaking about absolute bloody dumpster fire, I'm going to talk about Yeah, the daily life of a part-time torturer. Oh, I do not know what this show is trying to be. The daily life of a part-time torturer is a show in which it is trying to normalize torture in everyday life. To me, I'm giving this a 2-star pass. Right? The quality of the animation is not great. The symbolism is not great. There's just so much of this that, like, I feel that the author is targeting kids, you know, for their target demographic. Because to me, I cannot envision a world where torture is a high street profession. It feels weird to me. There are plenty of tongue-in-cheek moments in the show, but at no point in time do you see anything graphic or violent. You know, there's one of the so right. You've got this shop and 2 newbies start at the shop. One of them turns up, he's wearing all nice clothes and he's got, like, you know, dyed hair and everything. And on the first day, he's absolutely covered in blood and ends up turning up the second day in, like, overalls, and he's taken the dye out of his hair because it's just gonna get messy. The second newbie is someone that's supposed to be a pretty boy. He's got a scarf around his face the entire bloody time as if he's some kind of ninja, and he hates the sign of blood, like the sight of blood. So he's constantly torturing through other means. It's not good. It's not great. I've tried watching it. I think it is trying to rely so heavily on the absurdist nature of the scenario to be funny. I cannot gel with this show in the slightest. The animation isn't great. It doesn't explain enough as a world setting. It's kind of just accept it. Just accept this situation. And I just can't.
Well, I was going to say, what, like late stage capitalism?
Oh my god.
Normalizing torture in the daily life, you know?
Yes, sure. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
See, you know, you just don't have enough of imagination.
Well, I mean, I hear that too much of that is a dangerous thing and, you know, can cause the end of humanity.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
But only if you see 8 giant pillars. Yeah, that's only if you see 8 giant pillars rise up around England, you know.
Anyway, so that was the daily life of a part-time torturer. I'm going to let Thaylien move on to his next one. And we go from there.
So my next one is a misanthrope teaches a class for demi-humans. And this one is what I'm actually not sticking with.
Wow.
Yep. So the no, hang on. Sorry, I'm wrong. This is one of the two I am. One of the ones I am sticking with for my slice of life. Sorry, I got ahead of myself on the list. It's the other long named one. Sorry, Misanthrope is a class for Demi-Humans. The rating on this one is Acquired Taste 4, up from 3 last time. So I'm actually a little impressed with this one now because they genuinely managed to get a few tears out of me for one of the episodes. A big emotional moment. The plot kind of thickens with these characters, and I am surprised that they actually are doing that. I mean, as far as the whole learning to be a human thing is going, one of the characters actually passes the course and graduates to become a human. And considering that all I've seen after that, because it's episode 6, is a quick preview of the next episode, this is basically allowing for some new characters to cycle in. So they're genuinely planning on adjusting the roster and not just keeping the situation the same and doing, you know, the same humor over and again. You know, there's been some big reveals too. For example, a not very spoilery point is that the rabbit girl isn't an actual rabbit, which is a bit surprising. She still wants to repay the kindness of the person she cares for, and the experience of doing something against the school rules, asking her teacher for help, gives her the inspiration to actually find a career in the human world rather than just doing this for one specific person. You know, she wants to become a doctor and help people spend more time with their family. And the whole sequence was genuinely heartwarming, even if the rule breaking means she couldn't graduate that year. The werewolf girl has decided that the option for becoming human that she will take, because apparently it's a thing, is to separate into two girls, becoming twins instead of a merged hybrid of the two halves. And for the fourth one, the bird girl seems to have some weird stuff going on with her records to disguise something about her history. I'm guessing from the way things are going that she's not actually a bull-headed shrike, and she's actually a mythical bird of some kind. I'm surprised to find out just how much I'm looking forward. Something like that, yeah. I'm surprised to find out how much I'm looking forward to the rest of the show. It's definitely gone up in my estimations, and I'm enjoying the positive interactions between the characters. You know, it's a good slice of life. You know, it's just a modern fantasy slice of life, just like shows before, like Interviews with Monster Girls, where the emphasis on growing up, finding who you are, finding your place in society is the real story, and accepting your differences is key. So it's not for everyone, but it's definitely what I'm enjoying. You know, it's surprisingly not inappropriate as well. It's a bit of it, but there's been very little fan service to go on. And I think the closest we've got is the bird girl taking her teacher for a flight and him being really embarrassed because it means she's pressed to his back, you know, to pick him up. And then she ends up princess carrying him instead. But that's about it, really.
Wait.
She's strong.
Back. No.
So she's carrying him, but with her arms like behind him. She's behind him with her arms wrapped around his chest. So her boobs are pressing into his back, and that embarrasses him ever so slightly. I wasn't going to say it that way. So then she decides to princess carry him instead, where she's got him.
Shut up. No, I think Thaylien said you're wrong. Shut up. What was?
No, he said he wasn't going to say it like that.
I wasn't going to say it like that, but yes, that's exactly what the case is. That's nailed it.
She's carrying him.
Yes.
Flying.
From behind.
Right.
With her arms around his chest, and she's behind him.
How? Are her wings and her arms detached?
Yeah, no, it's the wings coming out of her back, which is what's more suspicious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
it's kind of like an angel thing.
Yeah. I was thinking more harpy thing, and I'm like, wait, how the hell is she flying if her up?
Yeah, which is why I don't think she's a normal bird is the thing.
Right.
So, yeah, there's a bit of mystery behind there. And, of course, they've got new characters coming in next episode, which we've seen a little preview of. Yeah. And that can be more interesting than just repeating the same things from the same characters.
Fair.
Yeah. That's a Misanthrope teaches a class of Demi-Humans, and it's not bad.
My God, he got it in under 5 minutes. I'm kidding. All right, my next one is Yoroi Shinden Samurai Troopers, or new Samurai Troopers. Even though they don't call it that for some reason, that is the name. It is New Samurai Troopers. Hello, start.
Stop hitting the button. We're both hitting the fucking button at the same time.
Me and Xeno are fighting each other for control.
Mom, Dad, please stop arguing.
Yeah.
Right, so this was an acquired taste 5-star, and it is still an acquired taste 5-star. I would love to give it more, but there are... you have to have really watched the original in order to fully grasp what's going on here. I think you could still enjoy it without the original, but I don't think you'll really understand it the same way unless you've watched the original. And so that's the first reason it can't be a must-watch. The second reason is I have really conflicted feelings about it. Like, I love the OG. I love the OG so much that I would watch it with the dub, even though it is a terrible early 90s dub, right? But I feel like, and I do feel like this one is trying to live up to that spirit, but it's just not the same. It's still really good. It's just not the same. But that said, I am still really enjoying it. We finally get to see some of what happened to the OG troopers. We actually found out like where they disappeared to, why they're no longer around in our world, how long the gates have actually been coming back, not just how long we've been told they're coming back. How all the armors got tied to the new gear devices that they wear on their wrists. We even find out why the one green guy, the green trooper, can't fight as well anymore. It's because he got poisoned by demon juice back in the days when the OG troopers disappeared and they went into the demon world to try and find them. There's definitely more silly moments in this one than you would have seen in the original, but on the other hand, it means less reused footage, scenes, so it kind of evens out. Plus, they're not afraid to still get serious every now and then. They've introduced a new idea of 3 divine treasures that I don't remember from the original. However, given that Argo in the original was able to split his armor into the 9 armors that we saw in the show, it's not surprising. I think this is actually going to be tied to the Inferno armor from the original series. They're calling it the Divine Emperor's armor in this one, but I think it's going to amount to the same thing. So given that Arago was able to do that in the first series, I don't really feel bad about them splitting this armor up into 3 magical tools. There's some more VR training, including unlocking their first true divine techniques like we saw in the original series. I still love the transformation sequence so much. I actually wish it was longer, but they've cut it down. They've cut it down significantly compared to the original series because, again, less reused footage and stuff. But I still love it. Oh my god. Episode 4 is a bit of an info dump. And getting people into position. It's not bad, but not one that would satisfy you if you had to wait until next week, especially with the cliffhanger where the new Emperor Ramaga appears in our world. We get some flashbacks of Ryo Sanada, who was the original Red Trooper, teaching some of the new generation of troopers back in before the OGs disappeared. In episode 5, Guy's transformation to a hero, and more importantly, to a human, to a full, like, giving in, like, embracing his humanity, is finally takes total hold. Most people won't know that the song Samurai, so the troopers in this one learn to synchronize a lot of their moves and stuff to a song called Samurai Heart. Most people won't know. Again, this is one of those things that you won't know if you're only watching this. That is the theme song from the original Samurai Troopers, or the original Ronin Warriors, or whatever. And so we end with, much like Arago before him, Ramaga sets his demon castle in the skies above Japan, and he gives them an ultimatum. Make Guy worthy of being his vessel, or he destroys all of Japan in 7 days. All the other troopers... Yep. All the other troopers have had to face some deep part of themselves, but Guy was always able to skate by on willpower alone. But now that he's embraced his humanity, it means finally facing everything he's done as a demon, including killing a bunch of people in the first episode. Which is something I saw people talking about online. They were like, how can everyone just accept this guy who killed a bunch of people in episode 1? Well, they actually dealt with that in episode 6, I think. And he has to learn to live with it. That's his goal. His journey is that he has to learn to live with it. Who knew that episode 6 would actually be a huge tearjerker? And then, of course, we end with the revelation of another original character from the first series. I'm still half convinced that the woman we're dealing with, their handler, more or less, is the girl from the first series. But that may not be true. But June is definitely 100% the kid that was tagging along with them in the first series. And I don't know... they've got to have a good plan for him, because the reveal of him is as a fat, shut-in NEET who is terrified of the fighting. He no longer wants to see any fighting anymore. So there's got to be a really good reason for them to do that between this and who Ramaga actually is. You might think the show is doing a disservice to the original, but I disagree. And if you want to know why, I could go into spoilers, but I really don't want to spoil who Ramaga is.
Yes, and
I think we're okay
All right.
on that one.
So that is Samurai Troopers 2026. It's overall pretty enjoyable. For a shonen, it's surprisingly not bad.
right. For my final pair, I'm going to do an Adventurer's Daily Grind at age 29 and the Darwin Incident. Both of which I'm actually dropping.
Wow.
Yep. So
I saw Darwin Incident coming.
Yeah, so an adventurer's daily life daily grind at age 29, I'm dropping because I cannot get on board with who the target demographic is, right? I feel that the show is aiming for an entire family audience. At no point in time do I ever feel like I can keep on top of.
Oh, I did it again.
Oh, I know exactly where this is going. This is going to be this structured narrative. Like, this is going to be that structured. But in all honesty, the show keeps a very good pace of what it's trying to achieve, right? The problem I have with the show is the simple fact that I don't find it funny. I don't find it interesting. I don't find it... It is trying to be like an onion, effectively. It's trying to have many layers. It's trying to be a slice of life. It's trying to be an ogre. It's trying to be like Shrek. Shrek is a brilliant example of a family movie because not only does it cater towards the kids, but it also caters towards the adults. Everyone has something that they can enjoy in Shrek. This show just feels like it caters exclusively to fathers and daughters, right? So it's like, when you got a small daughter and a working father, that's all this show caters to. I cannot get behind it, right? So for me, this show has gone from an acquired taste 1 star to a nothing special 1 star, right?
Wow.
And I am dropping it, right? Because I one episode, it took me 3 attempts to watch because I was just so bored. It's
incredible.
It's not fun. Yeah. Not, I think there's gonna be plenty of people out there that enjoy this sort of thing, but I certainly do. Right. So I can't keep going. The next show I'm going to talk about is the Darwin Incident. As I've already highlighted, I am dropping this show as well. For everyone's benefit, I only managed to get halfway through episode 5 before I was done, when I finally twigged what it was about this show I didn't like. So the whole structure of the show is based on perspectives of animal rights, perspectives of, Charlie being a human Z, how our laws, how our society does or does not work. But a big problem with the show's structure is it's so heavily reliant on the dramatization of all the show's events, right? So everyone acts in a very cagey way. Everyone acts in a very, volatile way. Volatile not necessarily in rage and anger, but volatile as in they just do off-the-cuff stuff. And
emotions come out of nowhere.
Very much so. And it wasn't until halfway through episode 5 did I twig the reason I'm not enjoying this is it's the sort of over dramatization that you get in an American drama show.
Oh.
Yeah? It's the exact thing I effing hate about Game of Thrones, and I could not finish Game of Thrones. I only got to season 4 of Game of Thrones, and I was done. Right? I hated Game of Thrones.
I think we all did.
Season 1 was perfect. I loved season 1.
Oh yeah, no, season 1 was great. I watched season 1.
Yeah,
and then
it just got progressively worse. And you know, I heard season 5 start. So one of my favorite characters in Game of Thrones, minor tangent, is Tyrion Lannister, and season 5 starts with 7 episodes of Tyrion Lannister on a boat getting drunk. Wow.
I'm on a boat.
Why?
I'm on.
Yeah, God. And this is where the show goes. So, for example, it is clever, don't get me wrong. So, effectively, by the end of episode 3, we have established that Charlie does not have capacity for empathy, right? He does not have the ability to feel things like humans do, or even like animals do, right? He has zero capacity for feeling.
That's interesting.
However, yeah, he does not have emotional capacity, but he's super intelligent and super strong, right? So it's agreed that if he gets rid of the terrorists, people will let him continue to exist at this school, let him continue to be a student at the school, to experience a more stable human life. So he tracks down the terrorists and convinces them to turn themselves in at the sheriff's office, because this is like some small county in America, right? So they're traveling to the sheriff's office, and one of the terrorists ends up messaging the driver saying, like, slowly speed up. So the driver's slowly speeding up, and then that terrorist gives the signal, stabs the driver, and then the 2 remaining terrorists jump out of the car, right? To which Charlie gets arrested because he didn't go straight to the police with the information about where the terrorists were. It looked like that he was in league with the terrorists trying to rescue the one that was stabbed, right? Which technically he was. But from a judicial point of view, it could be spun in multiple different ways. That was smart and clever, but the over-dramatization was too much for me. And I'm like, I'm not here for this. Why are there ex-Navy SEALs in some animal activist group? Why does the sheriff, or I don't think he's actually the sheriff, he was like a deputy, why does the deputy have knowledge of Charlie from 10 years ago that the audience doesn't have? Like, there's so many different parts to this narrative that, yes, but why is he even in the same bloody county as Charlie? Right? It's like, very coincidentally, he transferred to the same state that Charlie was in.
Yeah, because they might have put him there to keep an eye on Charlie, and we just don't know that yet. They're trying to keep that from the audience. That'd be my guess.
But again, huge over-dramatization. So for me, the Darwin Incident is a 5-star pass.
If we had our first humanity, what would you do? You know, you would want to keep it under surveillance, but you wouldn't want it to, and especially if it's super intelligent, you wouldn't want it to know that it's under surveillance.
Yeah, but
still. So you rated a 5-star
pass. Yeah, I just it's very high quality. Huh?
Just now. You missed it when you were speaking.
I'm just gonna do it now.
It's very, very high quality. It's a very high production show, but I hate this excessive drama. I just cannot stand it. It is what puts me off most American shows.
Gotcha.
Right.
All right. So that was the Darwin Incident and Roll Over and Die? No, Adventurer's Daily...
An Adventurer's Daily Grind at age 29.
Yep. I think the spinners picked for me. There was a cute girl in the Adventurers Party, so I tried confessing to her. In the Heroes Party, so I tried confessing to her.
Oh, this is going to take me a hot second to get. Give me a second.
This one?
It's not in the...
It's what?
It's not in the listing because it starts with there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Right. So, something happened with this show between the first 3 episodes and these ones. And I'm not happy.
Really?
Okay.
Because, so the animation got worse. The characters all started going off model. The backgrounds picked up that whole stock painted image with, like fabric textures painted over them to kind of fill in a background. And we got the most ridiculous I'm 12 and this is edgy section that I've seen in years. So this is now a 3-star pass.
Wow. What was it before?
Yep. Before, it was a
4-star, nothing special.
Nothing special 4. Yeah.
Damn.
So you said 3-star pass?
Yep. So the drop in animation quality as well, taking it down on the star rating.
Oh my god, he's finally gone into the past.
Yeah. So, after what was this pretty decent slice of life section, obviously our boy Yogi longing to see his darling Cecilia, but she's been on official business, and he gets contacted to say that she'll be back that afternoon, and he takes a day to prepare. It's a nice little bit, because he walks past a fortune teller and says, "Boy, watch out, you're going to have horrible luck today." And he says, "Oh, well, I don't believe in fortune, so that's all right." And he then gets horrible luck. He goes to get some cakes for the afternoon tea, and there's the older brother of the baker subbing in, who's a musclehead, who then thrusts the bag at him and crushes all the cakes against his chest. Then he nearly steps in dog poop, which is close, but because of that, he's then in the way when a young boy comes running around the corner and bumps into him and drops the snack that he was eating. So the little boy starts crying because of that, and then he has to take care of the little boy. And he goes off and he says, "All right, it's all right. I'll buy you two snacks instead. There you go." And so he's lost money. When he's doing that, some guy brushes past him and pickpockets him, which, because he's a powerful demon, he actually notices them doing that. He chases them down, kicks them into a wall, and takes his money back. And the hero sees him do that and thinks he's stealing from this poor civilian that he's kicked. And so he gets arrested and thrown in jail. So he does get horrible luck, but it does get sorted out. The people actually talk to the town guard and find out that this person is a known pickpocket. Then the hero's friends, who Yogi has been making friends with, come around and tell him off for being an arsehole. And he then does a good deed for the hero, getting him to make up with his best friend, who's the mage girl. And this all results in them all trooping over to Cecilia's house to apologize to her for abandoning her in the first episode. I don't know if you can hear that engine, it's very loud.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a nice little thing where he's she's impressed with him because he's making friends and fitting in, and he's able to give her a gift. Proper slice of life stuff. Then we go to try and remind people that Yogi is a demon, and it gets just terrible. We introduce a psychotic hero from another kingdom who is basically prowling around looking to get into trouble, killing bandits and seeking out monsters. And he doesn't really care who he kills as long as he gets to kill people. So when they get to this village, they find the guardian deity of it is actually a demon gargoyle that just kind of got accidentally left there by the Demon King's army. And because there's a little girl that trusts him, he's he's basically being good. So they make friends with him and they're okay with him. Then this bad hero wanders in and starts trying to kill him. They get into a fight, and Yoki obviously trounces him. So the hero tries to get away by throwing a magic javelin that actually hits the small girl because she stands in front of the gargoyle. And the hero, that's this guy, and makes his way off while everybody's stunned from this attack. Chuckling, saying, "I can't believe she tried to defend the demon." You know, he doesn't care that he's actually hurt her. And that's it. Right that moment, with no foreshadowing that this was a thing, no provocation beyond this event, and no fanfare even. It's just like a thing that happens in the show. He hulks out into a full demon form and chases down the hero. Grabs him by the head, grinds him into the ground, and then decides he's not going to kill him, and so drops him in the river because Cecilia wouldn't want him to kill. Comes back and off-screen snaps off the regrown demon horns so he can look human again, and everything's better again. This whole edgy dark moment, no foreshadowing, no consequence, just done in a 5-minute piece of time.
Well, you should have known it was going to be bad when people were wearing fedoras.
Yeah, that's true. But they're in disguise. Yeah. So, I mean, the humour does redeem this show a little bit, which is still why it's got the 3 stars. You know, there's over-dramatic idiocy with the king and Yoki having a little tunibu off, where it says, "You saved the village in my kingdom. What can I offer you?" Say, "What you have to offer me cannot give me what I want." And he said, "But what do you want? Is it money? No. Is it fame? I am already famous. Is it my throne? Say, no, your majesty. Then what is it you want? I want the love of Cecilia." You know, that kind of stupidity. The gargoyle they bring back with them, he keeps earth shaping the gargoyle to look like other things, like a Buddha statue or a sphinx, to just kind of pass it off as a normal statue, which is kind of fun. But it's still not redeeming the show enough for me to keep watching it. I'm definitely dropping this one. Maybe I can find something else to binge to make up for the drop shows. I have to see, because you can't drop all the animation quality, drop Foley quality, because the spells sound like fucking custom PC sound alerts rather than magic effects, and then throw in a demonic Hulk out that has no lead up and no payoff. Not without losing the audience that were there for what the show is actually good at, which is the slice of life in a fantasy world. You know, once you've set up that this is a fantasy slice of life, you if you try to turn it back into an edgy 12-year-old fantasy, it just doesn't work.
Right.
So, no, they've lost me on this one. I won't be going. It is earned its pass from me.
Right.
They did it, guys.
There was a cute girl in the hero's party, so I tried confessing to her.
They finally made Thaylien give up on a show.
Come on, this isn't the first one.
This wouldn't be the first one.
No, it's the second one. It's the second one.
At least the third.
No, the first one was Remonster. This is the second.
No, Yandere Dalfkelf.
No, you watched all that. We know you did.
No, I did not.
Anyway, moving on.
It hit a genuine thing similar to Remonster. I just wasn't comfortable with.
Come on, Nasuth.
No, the one he would have dropped, but he watched all the way through, was the one where his friend was a voice actor.
Yes. That's
but
the
he
one.
didn't.
Yeah. Kakoshite Machina-san.
Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the casebook of Arne. This was an Acquired Taste 3. It has moved up a little bit to an Acquired Taste 5. I'm really enjoying this. Other people, I don't know if I'm being too generous, but I'm really... You know, did you end up picking this one up?
No, but I probably will now.
Okay. Between the deductive prowess and the themes of identity and self-worth, this has been a great watch. Believe it or not, it's based on an RPG Maker freeware game, which just just goes to show that a good story can come from the least likely places. As for Studio Silverlink, who did the animation, you may recognize them from such hits as Baka and Test, Watamote, Non Non Biore, Chivalry of a Failed Knight, and a Sister's All You Need, Beaufry, and many others. Very good pedigree behind the studio. And the animation quality reflects that, I think. Again, despite the fact that I focus on subtitles more than animation, unfortunately. It seems like Arne's got a bit of an identity crisis going into the topic of identity, given the circumstances of his creation, but Lynn, our female heroine, is giving him direction and motivation, which is good, good for him. I think that's why he's keeping her around. I like that the show is not afraid to take a serious tone, but the comedic moments also feel natural, like actual characters would do. The characters are deeper than they might appear at first glance, like Lynn realizing she's been a doll for the household this whole time, living for their expectations of an heir rather than her own desires. It takes a bit to get the solution of the crime of her father's death, but it is an important origin story for Lynn and has had lots of character moments along the way. It's also dropped in all the puzzle pieces we need to figure it out ourselves, which is, again, always great to see in a deductive show like this. I figured out I figured out the actual solution before it happened, which is nice, or at least part of the solution. And again, once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, including supernatural, must be the truth, especially in a show where they're dealing with supernatural things. Arne proves why he's the boss bitch of the vampires. We do get a fight between him and one of his progenitors, and we get to see why he's the boss bitch now. And just like how Lynn helped Arne realize that he's not a puppet, he helps her realize that the tragedy that ends this case will pass, and her life will go on, and maybe even be amazing. After a cheerful farewell to her family, it's time to see the greater world with newfound purpose, which brings us back to the present. That was all a flashback, remember. This is the origin story for Lynn. The next case is about a mermaid who, due to a twist of circumstance, thought her human lover was trying to kill her, and so the mermaid accidentally killed the human instead while fighting back. Now she wonders if the human really wanted to kill her in the first place. It's a very short mystery, but poignant all the same, and gets us moving along again. That said, I hope future cases are a bit more involved. This was a single episode, which was nice, after we've just had a long one, but I don't want it to be case of the week stuff, right? I want there to at least be a couple of episodes here or there that are connected together. That's really all I have to say about it, because I don't want to give, since it's a mystery, I don't want to give too much away, but I'm enjoying the characters. I think there's a lot of really good stuff going on here. Not must-watch good stuff, but really, really good, just nice mystery, almost slice of lifey stuff going on. So I'm really enjoying it. Any questions?
Nice.
Oh, there's also something really there's something going on with Lynn, because Arne gave her some of his blood and it didn't turn her into a vampire. So there's some secret with her too. Personally, I think she's part angel, but I have no idea for sure about that. They haven't even brought in the idea of angels, but I think her mom might have been an angel.
But I just have that flashback to that thing at the end of Beaufry, where they had those little chat messages things at the end of each episode. And
the devs where they're talking about...
Yeah. Well, no, not the devs. The fan base for...
Oh, sorry, no, it is the community. Yeah.
It's the community fan base for, what's her name?
Maple.
Maple, yes, it's Maple's fan forum, and the guy that's in her party coming in and say, "She's an angel." I say, "Yeah, bro, we know. No, she's a literal angel."
Yeah, I think that might be the case.
Blonde hair, white wings, everything, that kind of thing. And I'm just
like her mom.
Yeah, this wouldn't be off.
Her mom was really sickly with some strange disease that they couldn't cure. She died early. I think her mom became mortal because she was in love and ended up having a kid, and then anyway, yeah.
It wouldn't be off base for this particular studio.
Exactly.
Move on.
Yeah.
So what you got?
Please.
Fate, Strange, Fake. Oh god, that isn't me losing. Like this, the Fate franchise is primarily based on a large number of, or so I thought. This series is doing nearly everything it can to it's trying to break the status quo of what is Fate. So I'm going to rinse and repeat a part of the previous review. Fate is primarily a series where you have a warring group that are trying to get their hands on the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail being an absolutely unlimitless font of mana, allowing mages to basically wish for anything.
The Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, kind of. It is the literal Holy Grail.
Yeah.
So
Jesus is real in this setting.
Well, I'm not entirely sure about that.
However, summon him as a cute anime girl?
No, cute anime boy. But the problem with the core thing with Fate, as Nasuth is struggling really hard for his USB to stop fucking interrupting me. I swear, love of God, Nasuth, I'm going to lose my. Why is it just me? Why is it only me?
I think I got it.
For everyone's benefit, I'm getting the Windows unplugged, plugged in sounds during, I think, the last 3 fucking reviews I have done.
It's hilarious. I've been watching it happen.
Anyway,
every time Dio's eye twitches every time.
Look, I'll turn that off for now.
No
so
noises.
You can't hear it.
That's fine. No noises. Me all the fucking time. Anyway, so the core thing is that there are 7 members, the 7 groups, the 7 pairs during these Holy Grail Wars. So you will have various different classes. So sabers, a saber, a caster, an assassin, a ranger, archer, lancer, a berserker, and a rider. Right, so you have the 7, and the idea is that they're kind of like more powerful than each other. However, they're mythical or legendary figures that have a weakness, and this weakness is, super critical to who they are as a character. So, for example, let's say you had Achilles, right? Achilles' weakness is Achilles' heel, right? So if you were to attack him in his heel, that could completely depower him, and so on and so forth. Achilles, oddly enough, has not appeared in Fate. Right, go on.
What's Arthur's weakness?
Arthur does have one. It's more than likely whatever's been associated to his death, so it could be some form of betrayal and things like that. So the problem is,
it was the loss of the scabbard.
Was it the loss of the scabbard?
Yeah, so the Excalibur...
Oh, yes, because he was supposed to throw it back into the lake.
Sheath,
and yes.
Yes. So the sheath of Excalibur, however, is the thing that heals him from any injury and protects him from harm. And that the fact that he lost it is what ended his thing. And why in the, Fate's Day Night, having it back was so important.
Yeah.
Right.
So you see a lot of characters across the thing. So you will have, I'm pretty sure in Apocrypha you have Frankenstein's monster. You have
his weakness is a flower.
Oh god. Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yep.
You see Frankenstein's monster just completely get enamored by flowers and things. You also have Astolfo. You have Alexander the Great. You have Gilgamesh, who appears in nearly every single fecking one. You have Joan of Arc. You have so many different, legendary characters. The problem with Fate, Strange, Fake is that it seems to be doing everything in its power to take the rules and set it on fire. Because there should be only 7 pairs. There aren't. And I don't know why. And I don't know who they are.
It's named
and I don't know their
Fate?
motivation. Well, so basically, it's supposed to be a fake Holy Grail war, but I don't know why.
Right.
So,
okay.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be watching this in dub, like, from now on, because I am struggling to keep up with the show. I really am. This is on par with Ghost in the Shell, where yes, you can watch it sub, but you'll be rewinding it every 5 bloody seconds to find out what the hell's going on. So I'm 100%. I'm going to be watching this in dub, and just to keep up with this.
Is it being simuldubbed?
As far as I can tell, yes, but I need to look into it more. So either this will be the last I talk about it, only because I'm struggling to keep up with the damn thing so much. Or I'll continue to review it in I've watched the dub format and things like that. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm this is a hard one. Really difficult. Did I give a review of this? No, I haven't. Acquired Taste 2.
Rating, no.
Yeah, so it's gone from an Acquired Taste 5 to an Acquired Taste 2, just because it's so difficult to keep.
Do you feel like you would have had to have watched other Fate series to jump in on this one?
I do. I think the biggest one you really should watch as a Fate series is Fate Zero. If you watch Fate Zero and you enjoy Fate Zero, I think you will enjoy other Fate series. A lot of Puritans say you should watch Fate Stay Night. No. Well, I think if you can watch Fate Zero, it's a brilliant groundwork for everything. It's so the events of Fate Stay Night are off the back of Fate Zero. The events of this are off the back of Fate Zero. A lot of stuff uses Fate Zero as a springboard, right? So, but it's not the main story. I don't like the main story of Fate Stay Night. I much prefer Fate Zero. So, also,
do you think jumping in just on this one would be a mistake?
Not necessarily. I think it'd be too difficult. It'll be far too difficult if you've not watched the Fate series.
Too many references.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it's just like you have to have that underlying knowledge of like who is a master and who is a servant, right? It's too difficult to understand that relationship. So I think it's a good series, but like I'm massively struggling with it.
Okay.
Fair point.
And Gilgamesh is a
Cad.
Chad. But also a Cad.
Excellent.
That too.
Right.
All right, Thaylien.
I think my next one is Trigun Stargaze, which is the continuation of Trigun Stampede. And it's got a little up. Still enjoying this. This is now an Acquired Taste 3, up from 2. So the shift in the show from the original anime to this is completely separating it in my mind. Okay? It's becoming something new. You know, it started down in Stampede where, you know, the retelling moved around characters and events, and does it again here. And while it's far from a one-to-one retelling of the source material, it does have that darker edge that I remember reading. The original anime Vash being a goofy goober that just wants love and peace is gone entirely now. What we have now is a different Vash in a different setting with a different version of everybody. And that makes this particular setting better to me because I'm able to, because of that separation. So we really have the trauma that was the trauma maybe that was hidden under the surface of Vash before, with more gravitas in the situations, with the characters that Vash manages to save being more victims of knives than genuine killers. And the ones that definitely can't be saved very clearly demarked by what they do to both civilians and each other.
Is that one of the gung ho guns? By the way, I seem to recognize that mask.
That is the one that nurses Vash back.
Oh,
he is still Eric's.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So I do love that Wolfwood and Zazie are both kind of just like accepted back on the arc in this. So events transpire that Vash gets captured by the gung-ho guns, but and so Wolfwood makes a daring leap on a motorbike to get into the ship before they make off with Vash, and everybody, he and Zazie are just there now. They're not actually expected to do anything. It's like the others are so convinced that Knives will sort things out and deal with them if he has to, that they just kind of shrug and say, "Oh, sure, you can hang around outside on our ship here. Wolfwood will even restock that stuff you've secretly been drinking to make yourself stronger if you want it." You know? So, meanwhile, the big part of the story is the next colony fleet is coming by to pick them all up and rescue them. But Knives is going to turn this into his own setup to end humans for good by causing another big fall. You know, he's going to crash that colony fleet onto the surface, kill all the humans, and make a world just for plants. And the rather distinct flashback that Knives had while he was healing up, I kind of don't want to see them retell that in this new setting, because I think it'd get way darker.
You mean the siege, like the Vash's past when he was younger, with the siege ships?
It's not Vash's past. It's not Knives' past. If you don't know the character, then I won't spoil it. But they had a flashback to another character's past on the siege ships.
Oh
no,
I have no idea that.
So Nasuth, you've been watching this as well, have you?
Nope.
Or,
no.
Who's been watching this with me?
Nobody's been watching this. Okay. We gave up during
no one likes Stampede.
So, to not spoil anything too much, let's just say that Knives and Vash were not the first plant children.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yes.
No, Nasuth.
So,
no enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'll just go read the manga.
So, in any case, now that my internal story setting has been disconnected from the original, I've stopped expecting it to try to be the original. Especially in terms of style, comedy, or method of storytelling. I'm so much happier with what the show is, and that's allowing me to enjoy the good parts of it far more. It took more than what Stampede was able to do, I'll be honest, because even at the end of that first season, I wasn't convinced. Now, I'm able to give this higher than I did before because I'm reviewing the show on its own merits rather than trying to link it so much to the original Trigun series.
I will admit the trailers for this one looked way better than Stampede in terms of tone and story and everything.
Yeah, no, so this is we actually saw it in Stampede, the flashback to the other character I talked about.
Yeah.
But it's very brief. So it's... I want to see where they're going and if they're going to finish the next arc with this season or whether they're going to move on to a third. It's going to be interesting.
Too bad you gotta watch Stampede
more
to get
like
to it.
try bomb. Sorry.
More like try hard.
Oh, don't mind if I do.
I've been sat on that joke last 5 minutes.
I would say the last. Hang on, how long have we been recording? Hour and 24.
No, I forgot you were doing Trigun. Until about 5 minutes.
Your Trigun has been sat on the seat.
Oh! Anyway, yep.
Damn, he did it. He went there.
Anyway.
All right. Is that all you got for Trigun?
Yeah, no, I'm just waiting for the rest of the season, and we'll give a proper review of it at the end, I believe. For now,
all right.
I'm just enjoying it.
Trigun. Let's move on to Scum of the Brave.
Where's that?
What do you want, cat? Oh my god. He's so loud today.
Oh my god.
Scum of the Brave was an Acquired Taste 3. It is still an Acquired Taste 3. It has not moved at all. It's just consistent. I actually expect this to potentially be in a Acquired Taste 5 by the end. The show is growing on me more and more as I watch it. It's just kind of fun and wholesome, but also not afraid to go dark or work in an engaging plot that's slowly, ever so slowly, coming to the forefront. The joke is still relatively the same. He wants nothing to do with these kids, but money woes keep dragging him in, and his good nature keeps him there, no matter how hard he tries to push it down. That said, the situations are different enough each time that it keeps me invested, unlike something like Don't Hurt Me, My Healer, or Jahi, where the joke is just the same. There's no change. It's clear that the end goal is to teach him to enjoy being a brave again, because it doesn't mean having to be scum. His view of being a brave is that you must be scum. Only scummy people become braves. Only the worst kind of people. Case in point, he's dragged into a simple mission that ends up evolving into rescuing some girls who are likely being trafficked, despite his best efforts to stay uninvolved. He's like, this is not our business, we don't need to do this, but the girl he's with insists, and so he gets dragged in, and he does it. You know, he's like, yep, we're gonna save him now. They're dropping hints about Jogamin's past and why she's so desperate to be a brave, but they're dancing around who her father is a bit too hard for my taste, which is why one of the reasons why I didn't raise the score on this, even though I'm enjoying it more. She could have just come out and said it when she was talking, telling her story to our main character, but instead she didn't. And then when one of the other guys from the bar tried to tell him, he didn't want to hear it then. So, like, they had the one really good chance, and they wasted it. So the next case after that involves a missing panda and missing dogs, and the only reason he gets dragged in is because it's the school president's daughter doing it for some kind of class credit, and he feels like if he doesnn't do it, the school president's gonna murder him.
Yep.
Same setup.
Because the school president is the one that said, please take care of my daughter.
Yeah, and he's a powerful
yes,
man.
I will.
Like, this school has a lot of power in Japan, and he is the head of it. So, again, the same setup, but watching it play out was interesting. One odd thing to note, I actually like that the girls aren't just in school uniforms. I mean, they are in school uniforms, but they're actually wearing clothing underneath it, which keeps it from being as sexualized as some other shows might do. And it makes sense, because they're fighting. They're getting into fights. You wouldn't want your skirt flipping up on you and showing your panties. So they need something practical to wear under their school uniforms.
I mean, dude, I've watched Tango Tango. I mean, you know, it makes sense there.
Exactly. So, and then of course, for the sixth episode, this time he gets dragged into teaching them practical swordplay, so we can buy a ticket to see some professional fighter. Like, it's an idol to braves, and he wants to see it so bad that he's like, fine, I'll do it. And then, of course, means breaking into the school first to use their practice areas. But the thing is, he may be doing it for selfish reasons, yet once again, he puts his all into it. Like, he doesn't just teach them how to fight like the school would want them to fight. He teaches them how to fight like their lives depend on it. You don't just, you don't wait for the other person to attack. You don't follow rules of engagement. You do what you have to do to live and to win.
Gotta be fair on this one. Him throwing his jacket at the teleporter was just the funniest thing. Like, every time she comes into attack, he just throws something new at her.
Yeah.
And then when somebody else came in, he threw her at somebody else.
Good times. Which is, it's just like, these kids are school system flunkies. So it really is kind of just what they need. He is just the teacher they need, because they are not made for this system. And of course, it can never be that easy with this show. They're definitely building towards something bigger than just this, given on how their training gets interrupted and how that ends up. The panda also links. So in the first 3 episodes, they faced one of the Dark Lords. His name was Thorn, I think.
Yes.
And that guy grew a weird mutated arm.
Weird arm when his original arm was chopped off, and he overhealed into some weird mutant arm.
And the plot with the captured panda and the dogs also plays into that. We get to see like some more of the group who's doing this, and drop some more hints about like, obviously this is going to be a major plot focus later.
Mm-hmm. I think the fact that one of the things that's going on in the background is his friend Yashiro.
Yeah.
No, sorry, not Yashiro. Sorry, yes, not
the
Yashiro.
guy in the glasses here on the right.
The guy in the glasses. It's
this guy.
God, I've got it in my notes somewhere.
Yashino?
Ishino.
Yeah.
Yes. So he's apparently hunting down another Dark Lord, and so he gets Jogamine, because she's a mind reader, to ask somebody in a shady club a question. So E3 is the ether stuff they inject to make themselves stronger, and she asks this shady guy, do you have any E4 for sale?
Which is apparently supposedly not a real thing.
Yeah, his reaction is very suspicious, and she reads his mind a little bit to try and figure out what his reaction is. But also, could be what's causing could be causing a Dark Lord to mutate, or could be causing the panda to become a monstrous puppet. You know, it's going on. The weird one was him actually turning down an offer to work for the head of the.
Well, I think he wants to stay outside of the system too.
Yeah, because he doesn't like that faction either. He turns that down, but it's like an 80 million yen contract where everybody else is talking in hundreds of thousands. And he turns it down, saying, "No, that's the fun of being freelance. I can turn down contracts that I don't like, and I don't like your faction either."
Yeah, I think her father might also be involved in some shady shit. So we'll see. Not Jogamine's father, the guy in charge of the school.
Yeah, Arthur Pendragon.
Yeah.
So I've not rated this I've rated this a whole rank lower. I've popped this in as a nothing special 3, but it's an entertaining nothing special 3.
And the worst part of it is still the opening where they just slap in. Like we even saw, even the scene that you were just talking about where he meets the maid from Arthur Pendragon. That scene is in the opening. It's like, oh, come on, guys.
It's just a scene with no audio, just the music of it. As long as I skip the opening credits, the show is fairly entertaining.
Yeah. All right, so that was, unless there's any questions, that was Scum of the Brave.
Nope. Should we move on?
Take us away, Zeno.
Okay, so I'm going to do Wash It All Away. And last time I gave this Quiet Taste 3. Now I'm giving this a Nothing Special 3.
Damn, a lot of falling shows this year. Or this season.
Yeah, this season. Like, in all honesty, I'm not quite sure if it's because I got introduced to shows like Roll Over and Die when there was enough to actually to get through. But in all honesty, I just think that there is a lot of mediocrity this season. Genuinely.
Well, they knew they were up against JJK, so they didn't want to try.
That's quite possible. Like, again, this was my comment before that there was a lot of second seasons.
Yeah.
This season, and I feel that the problem of this show is that though it is slice of life, it is too far-fetched in its nature. Right? So the degree of effort that is put into this dry cleaning or house cleaning, not house cleaning, or just general washing of clothes is akin to that of a firefighter. Right? Not to say that firefighters are lazy or anything. It's the exact opposite. This cleaner is, this laundry cleaner, she is super hardworking. Like, I have never maybe. No, I get that, but not to the point of 12 to 16-hour days, right?
It depends on if you're a sole proprietor or not. That is actually about accurate.
Yeah, but still having the energy to go for runs in the morning, and
well, that's just because we're lazy.
Well, you say that, but I am of the general belief that you cannot maintain a 12-hour work schedule 6 to 7 days a week. I can't remember how many days she's got this place open, but it's just constant. I imagine there are laundry establishments that do have a collection and delivery service, but I cannot envision them actually running everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
Especially a scooter, a moped. Yeah, a scooter, a moped, what have you. But she is physically running between the locations. It's she has
you risk wrinkling the clothes when you do that. That's not good.
She has this weird addiction for bathing, and I just think it's the thinly veiled fan service of the show. You don't really get to see anything, unlike Kane Soldier, but that's besides the point. You don't really get to see anything, but it kind of feels that this woman's only existence being laundry and the bath feels really shallow and off-putting, right? In other slice of life, like Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, trying hard to think of another one.
Masterful Cat.
Another good one. No, I mean, this is a similar problem to Masterful Cat. Masterful Cat had the problem that it kind of didn't go anywhere. This is the same thing, but with the lunacy, the idiocracy of her work schedule. With Masterful Cat, that only deteriorated because it just didn't do anything. It didn't escalate or maintain. It just kind of was. And yeah, I love me a slice of life, but to me this isn't a life that is realistic. And yeah, this is another one I'm dropping.
Clearly, I need to watch it, so as somebody who is an expert on the industry, I can give my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I just, don't get me wrong, I respect the whole idea of an artisan being oh yeah, you got to do it by hand. You can't leave a machine to do this. You've got to test the stains on the fabric to make sure that you're not going to damage the fabric after you've removed the stain, things like that. Also, the fact that there was a girl, so they depict another pair of siblings that don't do laundry, and effectively this girl is constantly spraying Febreze on her, right? So and our cleaner, I don't know what the job title would be, but laundress. She basically turns around. Laundress, yeah. She turns around and highlights the fact that if you keep using this stuff, all it's going to do is cause sweat stains and things to become more visible, right? Yes, it's going to get away, so remove the smell, but it causes further damage to the clothing and things like this, which is great, right? But at the same time, she's fucking running everywhere.
The number of times people brought in shirts, polo shirts, and wanted them pressed, and you would bring the press down, and there'd just be this release of armpit smell. Oh,
really?
Oh, it's people, do you not wash your clothes? Do you not wear deodorant? Do you not wash your clothes? What's going on here?
Right. Yeah. So, though I think there is an opportunity for this to get better, I don't think it's got enough of an opportunity to get good enough. So, that's why I'm dropping.
Fair enough. Thaylien? Oh, that was sorry. That was wash it all away.
Yeah.
And Xeno's going to throw it all away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And yeah. So I'm going to go for my penultimate, which is Sentenced to be a Hero. And this one, I've not changed my opinion on it. This is my must-watch 4 of the season.
I do still need to pick this up.
In the show, the campaign against the Blight continues with a downtime episode that allows them to explore the world a little, both in setting and in politics, and a 2-parter of defeating the next Demon Lord, as they call them. We get to see one of the other goddesses, which is nice. We get an explanation of what would have happened to Tiareta if Dota hadn't stolen the coffin and the goddess hadn't bonded to Xylo. And we meet a new hero and a new villain. Heck, we even get to see that there are a faction of humanity that believe coexistence with the Blight is possible. And the Blight seems to be going along with it. As far as it goes right now, kind of. So, we see humans riding on blighted horses to attack a castle. So there is intelligence to the Blight, definitely.
Interesting.
And there even we even see a scene of a person that's been arrested for reporting. He's writing for a newspaper, and I said, "So you started making up stories for the newspaper?" He said, "Well, yeah, because they're gonna not believe what I write anyway, because they think I'm state run. So it was just easier to make up stories. So you made up this story about there being members of the royalty the royal house who are on the side of the Blight and want to coexist." So, yeah. Well, the problem is we can't have the truth actually getting out. So you're not getting out.
Oh, he made it up and it turns out to be real. Oh.
Exactly.
Classic.
Yeah. So the action is still solid. If there's some drops in quality to make it look more actiony, and the relationship between the angry old soldier and the sunny new daughter figure is growing. There's even a hint that Tiareta might get a new mum in the mix if they keep throwing Xylo and the Night Captain together. As Xeno mentioned, there's this impression that we don't know enough, which can make it feel like there's not much happening overall in the world, because the main character is being ordered around without much of his own free will. We're not getting this sense of a journey or a growth or anything. But the touches that highlight the progression are where you see that Xylo is making a difference in small ways. The people that don't like him are trying to kill him faster. The people that do like him are sending him gifts when he's in the hospital. And the people directly around him are becoming more and more convinced that his way of following orders is better than the orders that it actually deserve. So we have a slightly worrying note to end the 6th episode on, where Xylo's injuries were bad and the person that fixed him up is actually the villain that we met earlier, making contact for the first time. And he's told that there shouldn't be a lot of memory loss from the procedure, which interests me, because Xylo seems to remember things, but he's knowing enough to tell the snaky guy to fuck off, and remembering Tiareta just fine. But the overlay they do, where Xylo seeing Tiareta as the other goddess, Minerva, when she arrives, it just makes me wonder what memory he actually lost, because they might be important. So I'm invested in this show. I actually want to see where it's going. But Xeno's sitting back and waiting patiently to put an interjection in. I can tell.
I was right, wasn't I? When I was like, Xeno's just sitting back waiting to tell Thaylien why he's wrong.
No, I was happy to just not say anything at all. But I mean, if you're genuinely asking,
well, you're watching it with me, so
no, I'm not. I gave up.
Okay.
I do not like this show. I watched the first 6 episodes, and it is slowing down to a crawl. The show is very heavy action oriented. It is very beautiful, but it does not want to elaborate on anything, right? It wants to continuously pump this air of mystery, but the mystery feels like the motivation is wafer thin, and maybe I'll wait for the whole thing to come out, but like, you know, it feels very heavily dramatized. Like, you've got the character that Thaylien pointed out, the one that's like, he's sentenced to be a hero because he guessed that royalty was forming part of a demon cult, and it just kind of, this feels like this is a solid light novel, right? If the episodes were like an hour long each that they can put more into,
the first one.
Yeah, like the first one, I think the series would thrive more. But the fact that episodes 4, 5, and 6 were one story, again, it's just like, how much slower are we going to get? Right? Is the rest of the season, are the remaining 4 episodes another one story? Are we going... Oh, wait, no, hold on. I got a funny feeling this is actually a 2-core. But regardless, it just feels like it is slowing down a hell of a lot. The animation, as Thaylien rightly points out, it does flip-flop around trying to maintain its quality while still maintaining its action. Has Nasuth determined it is just a 1-core?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough then.
So there are...
Well, 13 if you count, if you split the first episode in 2.
But anyway, so they didn't, I'm not going to. But the whole point I'm trying to make here is that it just feels like this is excellent reading material, but not necessarily excellent viewing material. Like so I'm just like, I'm fucking done with this one. I'm tired of having to wait week on week. It's a very, very similar experience to Hell's Paradise. So you might be okay with this. I'm done.
I'm enjoying it.
Take that.
When we get to the end of the 12 episodes, I'll let you know if you should binge it to get through that.
But like, you know, Nasuth was right. Hell's Paradise season 1 is good, but I fucking there are plenty of points in
half before it really gets like interesting and fast paced.
Yeah, like there are so many points in Hell's Paradise season 1 that I argue I wish weren't in there. Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Nasuth?
Alrighty.
That was Sentenced to be a Hero.
Sentenced to be a Hero.
Time for the best of the season. Obviously, it's Jujutsu Kaisen. I feel like Thaylien and I will probably disagree on this a little bit, but it was a must-watch too.
Maybe.
I can't really decide whether it's a 3 or a 4, so I gave it a 3.5, but I guess in the official rating, I'm going to do must-watch 3. Just to be on a little on the conservative side. This is kind of turning into an actual epic in terms of scope. I know the ending might be bad based on the manga, but the journey there so far is still incredible. And it's not like it's the smartest show in the world, but the writing is consistent, and the world feels solid and non-contradictory, which is a plus compared to a lot of shows. And when the writing is clever, it puts effort into it. I'm 100% going to have to binge this entire show in English after this season, or maybe before then, because every now and then I see some really amazing, subtle animation work, and I can't focus on it because I have to read things. The number of subtle movements in this show, people are almost never still. They're always like shifting position or moving from foot to foot, back and forth, sort of thing. There's never a still moment. The show is absolutely gorgeous from beginning to end. How can I possibly explain what is going on here? I barely remember the whole history between Maki and Mai, which is why I need to again watch it. But like, talk about a show that is not slow. You were saying Sentence to Be a Hero slowing down. This is giving you like no room to breathe.
It's trying to do a lot before they actually get into the culling game itself.
Yeah. The whole scene with Maki and Mai and the Zenin clan, like, holy shit, how was that all one episode?
The spectacle of that. Yeah.
It's just,
that's what
holy crap.
brought this back up.
Yeah, remember how I was talking about being distracted by subtitles? That's just not a problem during the bloody rampage of Maki. Episode 5 could have possibly used a little more room to breathe, but that might just because so many things came to a head in it. And also, with a ticking clock in the background, it feels kind of legit to pack a lot in. They are working against the clock here. And then, of course, we actually start getting into more of the culling game stuff, because the first rule of Fight Club is we don't talk about Fight Club. And the ninth rule of the culling game is that any player can see any other player's name and points and number of rules added to the game.
Yeah, so if they reach over 100 points and add a rule, their points go down. So this person wanted to add a rule that showed how many rules this person had added.
Yeah,
because that's a power gauge.
But I
did like the fact that they have some really entertaining powers.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, they do go in a little bit more into like I said, there's a lot of political intrigue in here. There's a lot of societal intrigue. Talking about how the Jujutsu sorcerers don't like when people do unique and interesting things with their powers. They want people to conform to the old Jujutsu ways. And that means that you get outcasts like Hakiri. Is it Hakiri? And his tomboy friend. No, his femboy friend. Femboy friend. Yeah. It's just this 3 episodes have been amazing. I almost watched episode 7 because of where episode 6 left us on. But yeah, not a bad bit of action while also advancing us towards the culling game. And after the episode where we just sat there listening to rules for an entire episode, it's been nice to have some action going on. But it's not all been action either. Like the oh god, what's his name?
Peak action. Let's going to be honest.
The guy. Oh yeah, so many smear models and everything. Oh.
But I was impressed because they still are advancing this thing of Gojo's not in the world anymore, and Gojo had a whole lot of pull. So
the number of things that are collapsing
Gojo was
because
protecting.
Gojo's not there.
Yeah, Gojo's not being there. He's protecting, like, say, you might be aware of Panda, the character. Is a panda, but also 2 other beings inside his body. So the person who created him has now been killed and had to reveal his secrets with his dying breath, because Gojo was protecting him before.
Yeah,
to stop people from killing him for his knowledge, or from going after him for his knowledge. And Gojo's not there, so this guy gets, hunted down and killed off, specifically to find out how he was making artificial living beings.
Beings that can sustain their own cursed energy.
Yes, specifically, because just putting a person's memories and some cursed energy into a body doesn't actually create a real person, and it can't sustain itself. And so you find out how that actually works, why pandas are an actual person, as it were, and not just a cursed puppet or something. Yeah. So yeah,
a lot of good stuff in this 3 episodes, and we haven't even gotten to the culling game proper. I think we're about to, though. Now that they've secured the help of this guy, which was a great scene in and of itself. I think we're about to get into it.
So magnets, how do they work?
No, I seriously
That's
loved
how you get the
when they explained
throw rabbits at them.
That's true. When they explained the star power and how like stars are 3-dimensional, like that was I was going, yes, this is exactly right.
Yes, it is. I was so impressed with that. They, especially because they have this whole thing of Jujutsu sorcery is more powerful if you explain how it works to your enemy. Because it's that confidence thing. If you explain it to your enemy, they know how it works. And so in exchange, it gets more powerful when it does work against them. And this person didn't. And they had to figure it out. And it was still powerful enough that they had to go through a whole thing to figure out what the heck was happening.
Yeah. So, yep. JJK keeping the quality. All right. Zeno?
Cool. Right, moving on to Shiboyugi playing death games to put food on the table. And I have accidentally clicked off of the right menu. There we go. Right. So, last time I gave this what did I give this last time? Quiet Taste 4. I'm going to tweak this ever so slightly and a Quiet Taste 3. Right? I feel that the only reason why I'm knocking it down ever so slightly is because of the pacing. I think a lot of people won't necessarily get on with this, but the psychological investigation, the psychological reflection of the series, to me, is actually a very interesting narrative. Like, I tune out for saying his last one, Sentenced to be a hero. I wouldn't be surprised more people would tune out for Shiboyugi. I really like the psychological exploration of how people react in these sorts of death games, as opposed to, oh, who's gonna die next? We had a couple of seasons ago the Necronomicon and the Cosmic Horror Show or something like that. And one of the biggest foibles of the series is that when characters died, you didn't care because you spent no time with them. You didn't understand the trauma that they were going through. Right? One of the nice things about this series is it does explore what is life like outside of these death games. So you get one episode, I think it's like episode 5, where they spend some time in, air quotes, the real world, where life isn't as simple as playing the death game. The death games are seemingly common knowledge, but at the same time, there are people trying to stop the death games. You're kind of left wondering, hey, is this still part of the death games? So, like, she receives a phone call, and she's asked, hey, can you help us bring the death games down? We've left a tracking device underneath the phone. Can you please, when you're asked to take the tranquilizer in the car, can you take this instead? That'll allow us to find out where the death game is happening. And she's even spending time with kind of alluded to her mentor, who's also been doing a lot of these death games. And she's told, like, around death game 30 is where you start to get cocky and you think that you know what you're in for, and this is where you're going to fail if you're going to fail. It is a very interesting psychological take or psychological reflection on death games, because how many have we watched Nasuth and just gone, ugh?
Yeah.
Too many. There you go. I mean, I really enjoy this series. I think if you are like-minded, you're going to enjoy this. But if you'd rather something that's more action-oriented, more puzzle-oriented, rather than the human
psychological
psyche.
study, yeah,
I don't think you're going to enjoy this. But if you like seeing how characters act and behave, this is going to be right up your alley. Yeah. And I haven't watched the 7th episode, which has already come out. But again, we're starting to see this. Is she getting too cocky for her own good? And we're seeing returning characters from other Death games, and they're acting in strange ways as well.
She's at the peak on the Dunning-Kruger curve, where you think you know enough that you're an expert, but you don't realize how far you still have to go. How far you actually still have to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there you go. That is Shiboyugi playing Death games to put food on the table. And I think she does it just for the kicks.
Oh, okay. And we're going to round this all off with Frieren Beyond Journey's End, Season 2, which is my must-watch 5-star of the season.
Xeno is right.
I mean, yeah, episode 3 was worth the wait, so I'm happy to wait for episode 6, which has been delayed because of the Winter Olympics. The legendary elf tantrum was one thing, that we had spoiled for us. But the line before it hit pretty hard, with Stark asking Frieren a question, her basically saying, "Do you know who you're asking?" And Elder's going, "Oh yeah, of course you wouldn't know," because it's talking about asking Fern on a date, and the genuine humour of Fern sitting down next to Fern saying, "Have you been asked on a date?" And so, "I have." "I see, of course you haven't." "Wait, you have?" No. That's, in general, seeing the silly elf do silly elf things makes me smile, and the mood of the show comforts me. And the quiet, understated progression of the characters fills a need of mine for actual storytelling in shows that takes its time. And I just love the fact that we're out on the road again, traveling to new places, finding little stories, and even fighting a couple of new monsters. It's relaxing after a fashion. I also love the way they work in some really dumb things, like an elf leaving a message behind for centuries, then turning that whole side quest into a lesson that felt actually really good to watch. Also really relatable, which is a story I won't tell here to keep from spoiling the reveal. All in all, watching this show feels like coming home to something special every week. The things that happen, the different things to fight, the different problems to solve. It's true adventure fantasy to me. Just no fan service, no slapstick cutaways, just telling a story in a simple way. And in fact, the fact of taking time to just sit down at least once an episode to enjoy the scenery or enjoy the moment makes me want to do the same with them. I want to be on this journey with them. I want to, I don't know, be the team's tank or a new healer, as long as I have
The cook. You'll be the team's cook.
Maybe, yeah. So just be the guy they rely on when things are tough, to follow along and maybe offer, Stark and Fern some big brotherly advice. Maybe get some head pats from Frieren for being a good boy, or pick her up and dangle her like a cat when she's being all Frieren-y. Just be a big loud dad to the little group. I love the show. I think everyone needs to see it, and I can't wait to see through to the end of the season, even though I was happy to wait for the next episode.
Remember to praise Frieren when she wakes up early.
It is my... Oh yes, absolutely. Whenever she wakes up on time, or gets up early, it is a praiseworthy thing. And to remember to send her to the mines when she's been a bad Frieren and racked up debt. It's just... I missed coming home on a Friday afternoon and thinking, oh yeah, I could sit down and watch Frieren for half an hour. And I'm so glad I get to do it again. But Xeno told you so?
Oh yeah,
He predicted.
Yeah.
Of course he did.
He's like, there's nothing. He's like, Thaylien's gonna give it a 5-star, but nothing's happened.
I think this whole thing with Xeno, this whole episode has been, I don't have the fucking patience. My TikTok brain is not getting stimulated enough. That's why he's dropping so many shows.
That's not true at all.
Oh,
I've
really?
picked up new shows. I've immediately thrown shows on
this one. The pacing is wrong with that one. I'd rather binge this one.
You're telling me that Frieren season 2 can't get any better? Are we gonna have to add on another? So how is it a 5-star?
It can get better by doing what it's doing even better.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, you don't make sense. So, no, the point is, that this has earned a 5-star must-watch from me already. And if it gets better, then it doesn't. It's just consistent. Yeah. It's just doing what it does well.
But it can't get better.
And that's all
it's already maxed out.
Yeah. And that's all it needs to do for me. Okay.
I feel like you need to adjust your gauge to fix the top setting on the.
Look, psychologically, people are afraid to give 5s or 1, like either the highest score or the lowest score. They usually give something in the middle because they just don't want to. They just don't want to, But
you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So Thaylien's brave enough to just do it. He's brave enough to do it.
On this show, Xeno. So on this show, Xeno, this is the best scoring show for me on Kanpai Cast.
I call bullshit. I call fucking bullshit.
I think he's saying.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to look.
I think he's saying that it was already 5 stars. It was already a 5 by the end of season 1, and it hasn't done anything to knock that down, even though it's not doing those same highs. Yes. So therefore, it is a consistent 5-star.
Yes, Frieren would need to do something bad for me to rate it less. And I'm also comparing it to the other shows. If its worst crime is just the other shows,
if its worst crime is just being a little slow, that's not the most horrible thing.
Huh? Because it means I spend more time with the city elf doing silly elf things. You'll find other 5 stars, but this is the top. This is the best show that I've rated.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And it would take something. If anything was this good and everything was as good as this, then it gets a 5-star must-watch as well. That's the simple thing. Yeah.
I get what you're saying, Thaylien. I do. I mean, I understand what Xeno's saying too, because to him, it's the slowness is a reason to bring it back down for a little while, because you don't know if it's going to hit those heights again.
To me, it's a case of it's pushed its envelope to the maximum. Now it's brought the envelope closer to being closed, and to me, it hasn't earned the same rating as season. It's akin to saying, "Oh yeah, season 2 of Rising of the Shield Hero is a 5-star must-watch because season 1 was a 5-star must-watch."
Well,
no, it needs to come down.
It might have been if season 2 hadn't whiffed it so badly right at the start.
Exactly.
Right off the bat.
So what if? Let's be perfectly honest with you, Xeno. Here's the thing. Here's the thing that I'm going to say with this. Okay. This isn't riding on the high of season 1 for me. Okay. This show just hits the right spot.
This is his fan service.
What I want. In a sense, even though it has no real fan service at all.
Yeah.
This is not. It's not fan service. This is, as I say, it's like coming home on a cold winter day and knowing I have exactly the right food to warm me up again.
I'm intrigued. Would you rate? If you had to pick between Frieren and Dandadan, which would you pick?
Apples and oranges. But
No,
I wouldn't.
You
If I had to pick,
yeah.
if I had to pick, I would pick Frieren.
Okay.
Because as entertaining as Dan is also a 5-star. But this is a strange thing for me. You'd hate it when people get to like A rank and S rank, and then have an SS rank and an SS plus rank. So
don't worry, I'll get Nasuth to add on a 6-star for you.
No, you don't need to. It's just hit the top.
See,
I'm joking,
And
dude,
I wouldn't be rating other shows higher than this.
What he's saying is,
I'm not rating any other shows higher than this.
What if Frieren breaks that ceiling and gets even better than it is now, or than it was at the end of season 1?
Yeah.
No, that's like trying to say that there's 110% of something. I just don't believe that.
There is.
It maintains a 5-star. It maintains a 5-star.
Okay.
That's it. That's
okay.
a must-watch 5-star.
Okay.
No, I'm the odd one out
what
here.
About,
I think
season
there
5?
are percentages bigger than 100.
What about Dan Machi season 5? I'm being a prick. I'm sorry.
It earned its place up there. It earned its place up there. Okay. I don't have to choose between them. That's the fun part of it.
Gun to your head.
I can give them all high ratings.
Anime gun to your head.
Because I enjoy them all.
Certain scientific rail gun to your head.
Oh my god. Right.
Yeah, no, still Frieren.
Should we move on?
Can we move on? Yeah.
That's the end of our reviews for today. We'll come back again in 6 weeks, unless Frieren's late.
Let us know in the comments what you thought, what you think, and what your scores are, if you've watched any of this stuff.
Yep. And if there's anything that you think we should watch that, because Roll Over and Die and the shit, what was it? The torture one. Fuck.
Torture. Yeah, Daily Life of a Part-Time Torture.
That's the booger. Those were brand new, recommended by Silverlight, friend of the channel. So,
Too bad
if
he was
you've
wrong.
got any recommendation. Huh?
Too bad he was wrong.
No, Roll Over and Die is a good series. I actually really enjoy that. So.
I thought you were dropping that one. I don't know why.
Yes, he did.
No. So.
It's the other one.
Yeah. Right. So, moving on to the supporter questions. Azul says, what kind of shoes do frogs wear? Open-toed sandals. Oof.
But
What's faster than an escalator? An escasuna. Oof. At least you didn't say Escanor. Anyway. Right.
I mean, who decided that?
Rescue7, just like spam, says, how much could a subscriber get if a comment was made below?
So much like.
Yes.
At least one.
So much like.
Who's ready for the new .hack anime game combo? No.
Yep, it's coming.
I'm not ready for it. I didn't really know it was coming, so...
I don't know if we're actually getting an anime out of it. Are we actually getting an anime? Oh.
I think we are. I've only tried to watch .hack sign, and that made me question my taste in anime.
And the game is completely different than the anime too, which is like...
Does not surprise me. I wear open-toed sandals on Escasunas. Says, God damn it, Thaylien. After the release of the Toonami Sailor Moon Abridged, Team 4-Star released an advert with other Toonami anime that could be abridged. Which Toonami anime from 2002 to 2006 do you think would be the funniest for them to abridge?
Inuyasha.
That's a really small window. Did that come out then?
It's the original Toonami run. There was a later one from 2008 to 2012 that showed some other different stuff.
Sorry.
No,
you don't
Toonami
mean
started
stuff
before that.
Came out then. You mean...
It's the original stuff that was published on Toonami, or put on Toonami during that opening run.
Gundam Wing.
Wing would be good.
Gundam Wing would be really good,
a lot of memes coming about.
Yeah, 1997 was when it started. Fucking Thaylien.
I don't think in the UK it didn't. I think in the UK it was...
No, it didn't. I'm going based on what Xeno would know, I think.
Fucking Thaylien.
Dude, I didn't watch TV. Gundam Wing.
Big O.
Yeah.
Think of the memes you could get by with Big O.
No. Big uh-oh. Oh, damn it.
Yeah, I think Gundam Wing, I'm stuck with that.
Yep. Have you considered the reason anime hasn't set many post-apocalyptic shows in America? Because all post-apocalyptic story writers about the cheese bunkers would not know how to explain them to a Japanese or even American audience. That, or the idea that a Japanese person creating an anime set in America is weird enough in and of itself.
Yeah, but I'm saying the reason they don't, because anybody who's looking into post-apocalyptic stuff should know about the American cheese bunkers.
I mean, do our audience know about the American cheese bunkers?
We don't talk about the
Do you know about the American cheese bunkers?
We don't talk about.
It's going to be a really fun watch when you
just like
when
you don't talk about the
out
strategic
about
fish and chips
If
bunkers.
you go look it up.
Anyway, moving on to the comments.
But
from
yeah,
last
the
week.
American cheese bunkers are really weird.
Anyway, moving on to the comments from last week. So first of all, we have the comments from the news. Stromber's Shell says, "No, you."
No, you.
Me?
Cool.
You're breathtaking.
Zrugal says, "News! Wow, those were some heavy stories in the serious story segment."
Oh god, this week too.
So useless information from Zrugal. It is impossible to dissect someone who is still alive because they will
then it becomes
become a vivisection.
Yep, it's very true. It's very true.
I knew this in advance. Thank you, Zrugal.
I mean, you mean perform an autopsy on someone that's still alive?
Nope. Dissection. Dissection is part of how you perform an autopsy, yes. But
I don't remember what story that came up in.
Holy crap, Hideo Kojima has a massive amount of playtime in Fallout 4. I mean,
yes,
I have as much in Warframe, but you know, he has a life. I didn't think it was Hideo Kojima. I thought it was someone else.
No, it was Mamoru Oshii from Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Interesting news this week. Thanks, guys. You're welcome. Right.
I mean, they're all really Hideo Kojima. Hideo Kojima is actually everyone in Japan. You just don't know it.
Right. Moving on to the comments from the cast. Zrugal says, "Kanpai! Haha, welcome to 10 o'clock. That noise is just Nasuth. He'll stop soon."
No.
10 o'clock?
What? Okay.
No.
Welcome to 10 o'clock. Caught Zeno out. He just does the intro anyway.
No, I mean, anyway. Geez, I didn't know 54% of Bleach was filler.
45.
45. It still feels like 54. Anyway, speaking about filler used to maintain cultural relevance, would you guys rather have filler or absence? I think it depends largely on quality of the filler and somewhat on the show in question, but I think I'd rather have filler. Absence. 100%.
I would prefer absence.
Yeah, like the thing with absence is you can go back and watch the season in a timely manner. If it's all filler, it's like, shit, how much of this do I have to watch?
What happened 3 weeks ago, we don't even know.
Yeah, I think I would accept filler if it was clearly labeled like alternate reality side story stuff, because then you could just skip it.
Please ignore this. Yeah. For context, my favorite season of Bleach was one of the filler seasons. I think having such a character-heavy, emotional-driven show like Frieren wouldn't make for good filler material. No, I agree with you. I'm with Thaylien. I hate recap episodes. Okay, I'll give it to Xeno. Supernatural has the best recap segments. Don't recap everything, just the bits you need to know to remember who a relevant character is.
Yeah, but he also hates that. But Xeno also hates that because it tells you exactly what's going to happen in that episode based on who shows up in the preview.
That wasn't me.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because we read the next point from him.
Yeah, but I also I agree with Thalien's points. Those recaps can be spoilers. Was playing a game, so I didn't have much to add after this point, but it was a good episode. Funny memes too. Damn straight.
Glad we could be background noise.
Stromber's Shell says, showing the passage of time is something that can make a story either feel profound Or unearned. Yeah, wash it all away.
Yeah.
I know you covered Frieren, and I think that is a perfect recent example of the profound category. An immortal elf that watches her human companions age and die really hammers home how time warps relationships and regret. And remind us that something heartbreaking can also be beautiful. And then lastly, Kanpai. So, memes time! Time for memes.
It is time for
memes time.
It is time for memes.
Memes time.
So we take viewer memes. You can come to our Discord and drop viewer memes into the viewer meme channel that we don't even look at before we see them here live on recording. I always love that term, live on recording.
Yep.
And this week we have 4 viewer memes. 3 of them are videos, in fact. So let's jump into. Hopefully they all work this week.
Yeah.
Wow!
I actually watched that movie recently. Yeah.
What is that? What movie is that?
That's very much a sibling laugh.
It's the new Kaguya movie on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
My god.
Oh wow.
I feel like this is made by AI, but I don't care.
It 100% is.
My god.
Oh my god.
Nice. Big chunky cat.
I'm so conflicted on AI because of things like that. Anyway. Oh god. Yep. That's amazing.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
And the last viewer meme.
Nobody. My TV at 3 a.m. in 2003.
That's
Yes.
a fair point.
I don't understand.
Well, no, it's because they're watching anime.
3 a.m. in 2003, because that's when most of the channels that we had access to.
Oh, that's true.
showed
Like
anime.
Sci-Fi Channel would show
Yeah.
stuff late at night. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No.
All right. All right, on to my memes. Now, my second one is labeled as spicy, but I'm pretty sure it's not. So let's.
Okay.
Who made this?
You made this. Oh my god.
This one probably should be not safe for work.
Brilliant.
I met outside a woman outside the mall crying. She had lost $200, so I gave her $40 from the $200 I found. When God blesses you, you must bless others.
You're not wrong. Not wrong.
And having light Yagami is in that just next one's also video. Anime characters and their love for fighting the sky for some reason.
Yeah.
Oh well, wouldn't you? If you could fight the sky, wouldn't you?
No, not fight in the sky. Fight the sky.
Yeah.
Oh, for fighting the sky. Well, I don't know. I'd fight the sky too. Smoke bastard thinks it's above us all.
Anyway, that's enough of that. You get the idea. Every masterpiece. Oh, this was the one. Every masterpiece has its cheap copy. I, the only male knight in a chastity reversed world, entered the female knight academy and was treated as a hero for some reason, unrivaled in the harem with my unique, unequaled skills. Or chain soldier.
Sorry, I just need to write this down. Give me a second. So I know to avoid it.
Just so you know how to avoid it. Yes.
Yeah.
That's a better comment than mine, which is, hey, I think I've seen this one.
Same vibes.
Oh.
What the fuck? Oh my god.
Oh
my god, that's brilliant.
If you don't know the top scene, then you're missing out.
You're missing out on something so horrendous.
So unreal. Anyway, and my last one.
Oh.
Guts, it was all a prank. You're being recorded.
Oh my god.
It's just a prank, bro. It's just a prank, bro. Why are you so mad?
Fuck off. Oh my god.
Oh no.
It's just a prank, bro.
Not okay.
Right, on to Thaylien's. If I can actually get my stuff in the proper order here. There we go. First one's a video meme.
Point of view. The bank robber who forced me to drive, watching me as I run over innocent people intentionally, for which he will be blamed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Will you walk away from your computer forgetting you had your headphones plugged in?
Oh god, that's why I use wireless.
Oh.
Oh my
So
god! She would!
American.
No.
She would too!
Oh.
She 100% would.
Oh. Would she? Would she though?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if she would, man.
As long as it was God she was deporting.
Yeah.
Now, apparently, this next one is mildly spicy. Oh my god!
Brilliant. Brilliant. I think we've broken Nasuth though.
Okay. Woo! And your last one is a video.
Yes. Point of view, when you order a book, how to scam people, but it never arrives.
No.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Oh, that was actually in Jujutsu Kaisen episode 5, 6, where he was talking to Hakiri, and the guy was like, "If I told you I had the secret to giving you $1 million, but it would cost you $200,000 to find it or to find out, what would you call that?"
Yep.
A scam.
A scam.
All right, on to Xeno.
How is this possible? Does that have 5 million power?
50 million power.
I hate those mobile ads.
Yeah.
All right, next one's a video.
Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh, and
it's
it's
about
like
the evangelical movement.
I love that. There's not enough literature on the evangelical movement. It's been silenced.
Yes.
So I'm glad to see this bookstore has that.
Finally, we're getting our voice out there.
Oh God.
Yep.
Yeah. All evangelicals should watch that. Aw,
Yeah.
Yes.
that's really cute.
Aww.
Before we continue, I just want to highlight my 5th one is AI generated. I fully acknowledge that if people don't want us to put AI generated stuff in, I'm fine. But this was a meme. This obviously wasn't for profit, but it was too funny. We're on my 4th one anyway.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, 4th one.
My hot take is, can we stop ruining isekais? Because they're not going to make them anymore because we hate them, and I kind of like them. I kind of really like them.
Isekai are dope. I also want an escape. I just don't want that escape to be filled with like, oh, she looks 12, but she's 3,000. Make her look like
Yeah.
What does that look like? Better than 12, if you ask me.
But would they turn into dust?
Demons don't age, like you, Baba.
That's fair. Like your baba.
Moving on.
Yeah. Yeah. I would be fine with that. I'd be fine with Frieren look like you, Baba.
More power to him.
I mean, she does look better than if she's 12. Right. And so the AI generated one.
Yep. Why no audio?
I don't know. Why no audio?
Should be audio here.
Oh wait, hang on. I bet I have it muted in. Hang on. Let me go back. Let me go back to the Frieren one, so people can just look at that while I quickly delve into the active sources. Quickly delve into them. There are so many sources. Just quickly.
There's so many sources.
There are so many sources. In fact, many of the ones that I'm seeing on my screen as NASA scrolls through have 6 numbers.
Oh my god.
If you know, you know.
Oh, Thaylien.
Oh, yes.
That's our
so you
asset.
did note down that other one. I could probably find the numbers for that one.
Oh my god.
What is this? 5. Why?
It maybe it just doesn't have the audio. Maybe the thing that I used to get it. Hold on, let me just check at my end.
Xeno.
To be honest, I'm sick to death of hearing that music anyway. So you know.
Yeah, I don't see any audio come out of it. Oh well.
Is that Vegeta with the Capsule Corp spaceship?
It is.
So it's been this huge craze as of recent with is it Sea Dance or something like Sea Dance 2.0, where it's this one scene from Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
Right.
Yeah, they've basically replaced the main guy with, I think, his car, and it's Vegeta with Capsule Corp. It's so stupid.
I never watched the Fast and Furious movie, so I don't know.
I haven't watched that one, so like, I mean,
that's probably the only one I remember out of the Fast and Furious movies.
Lol.
It's a dumb scene, and it's just making the rounds on platforms.
Right, and your last one.
Behold, girl.
No girls allowed in Gundams.
Okay.
So this is just Gundam X. No, it's After War Gundam X. Sorry, and just at one point in time, the main protagonist is like, you know, you want to fight? Well, I have a hostage.
Oh,
So, yeah.
Behold, girl.
Okay, gotcha.
So I was like, behold, girl. It's just so stupid.
Why is that music from Evangelion playing?
Oh my god.
Oh god. Oh.
Right. Yeah. That's it for the memes this week. I do genuinely want to hear from our audience. AI generated memes, yes or no? There's no way in hell I'm gonna have like an AI generated
one was
thing.
submitted.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if you guys are against it, but personally, I don't have an issue with memes because they're not for profit. When it's like taking someone's job away, that's a problem. So
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's it for the memes.
Oh,
right,
wow.
so thank you very much, everyone, for watching and or listening. And now it's time to bottoms up and Kanpai.
And Kanpai.